Good morning. Today I want to bake an updated Nigerian cake. I'm using a cake recipe on my blog, but I've added a few tweaks to it, so I'll call it an updated version. In here I have my Simas butter baking margarine. I call it baking margarine, but I hear people call it butter. I have here Simas baking margarine, a sachet and a half of Simas baking margarine, and 2 cups of sugar. Then I've added 8 eggs already. There are 8 eggs there. So what is left now is the milk before I start to. So I'm adding just a can of milk. I don't want to use the mixer. Let me use a food processor to do the work. Empty the can of milk in there. And then mix. So today is Children's Day. Happy Children's Day to all the children out there. So that's why I'm baking this cake for the kids. So I'll really make it sweet for them. When I bake for us, the adults, I cut down the sugar and they don't always like it. For today, I'll let them have it sweet. It's their day. So, like I showed us, here is the Simas baking margarine or the butter, a sachet and a half. That should be, a sachet is 250 grams. So a sachet and a half should give us about 375 grams with 2 cups of sugar, 8 eggs, and a can of milk. The can of milk is how many mils? A can of milk. I'll check that later and tell us. Right now, I can't see it properly. So 1 full can of evaporated milk is there. Then for the dry ingredients, I have here 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I have 1 teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt. I really don't want to add nutmeg here because their puff puff will have that nutmeg flavor. So let us make it a vanilla flavored Nigerian cake, an updated recipe. So right now I'm going to mix with a food processor before adding the dry ingredients. So I'll just pause until the ingredients are mixed. So I'm looking through here to see when they are properly. So I think we have paused for about 10 times. I wasn't actually counting, but it's up to 10 times. So right now I want to add the flour, the dry ingredients in there. No, the cake is not yet ready. I'm mixing the ingredients. Once I'm done mixing, we put in the baking pan and bake it, okay? It's so full right now. I'll have to open it up and mix. You want to
do?
What do you want to do? Wait, this is full. The flour is up there. Okay. Hi. It's full. I think I should just empty this into a bowl, but it has already been properly mixed. So I want to try folding it here. It's much. It has filled the food processor. I think 2 cups of butter would have been just flour would have been just enough. I used 3 cups and now it's full in the food processor, but it's okay. I'll empty it out. A teaspoon. I can smell the vanilla. I added a teaspoon of vanilla essence mixed with pineapple. So thank God I can perceive it right now. I would have forgotten that I added that to the butter. So I think it's okay. We'll just empty it now into this bowl. Just empty it into the bowl. So I'm done emptying it into a larger bowl. This is just too small for 3 cups of flour. I can smell the vanilla pineapple mixture through the screen right now. So it's okay, it's ready. Properly mixed. So while the oven heats up, we'll just grease the baking pan and pour in the batter. Just smoothen with the back of the spoon and put in the preheated oven. Our cake has been in the oven for 40 minutes now, so let's check and see. It's ready. Ooh. Need to check with the skewer. This cake is very ready. It's out of the oven, so the cake is ready. The skewer came out clean, so we'll just let it cool before we cut. Well, the cake has been removed from the baking pan. Let it cool completely on the rack before we cut. But you can see our cake is burnt. It baked for 40 minutes, so we'll have to scrape off the slightly burnt area and enjoy the delicious cake. So when it's cool, we'll come and cut it and see what is inside. Happy Children's Day again. And please don't forget to subscribe. So it's just slightly burnt, not much, so we just scrape off the burnt places. The cake is cold right now. It has been sitting here for about an hour now, so I'll just scrape off this. It's very, very fluff. You can see the cake, the texture of the cake. So that's our cake, our updated Nigerian cake recipe. That's our pound cake. Thank you so much for joining us while baking this updated version of my Nigerian cake. I like this Nigerian cake recipe. So here's the cake. Very good. That's it. That's the cake. Lovely. For this cake, I used 3 cups of flour. I used all-purpose flour, 3 cups. I used 1 teaspoon baking powder. I used a half teaspoon of salt. That's for the dry ingredients. Then I used 375 grams of butter, what we call Nigerian baking powder, butter. I used a whole sachet and a half. A sachet is 250 grams, so a sachet and a half, I think, is 375 grams. And then we used 2 cups of sugar, and I used 8 eggs and 1 can of evaporated milk. Evaporated milk is about 150 mils, I think. I will check again and put it there. So these are the ingredients we use for this cake. And then for the vanilla essence, I added a little of pineapple essence to it, and that is just 1 teaspoon of a mixture of both the vanilla and the pineapple essence. So the cake is delicious. It's very, very good. I love it. So before we bake the cake, I preheated the oven for 25 minutes. You know, it's an old oven. It doesn't have any reading, so I just have to preheat and then bake. So we baked for 40 minutes, preheated the oven for 25 minutes, and baked the nice cake for 40 minutes. It was a little bit burnt, so I think next time I'll just make it 35 minutes baking time. But the burning wasn't much, so I just scraped it off. And the kids are enjoying the cake already because today is Children's Day in Nigeria. Thank you again. Please subscribe. Don't forget to just hit the subscribe button and subscribe to our new channel. God bless you. Thank you for joining us in baking this cake. Try it. It's a very easy recipe. And I like that I use a food processor. My mixer was misbehaving, so I was like, okay, let me try using the food processor and see how it turns out. And it's very good. The food processor is good. It saves time. It mixes every ingredient very well, as it's shown here in the video. So try it and see, and I know you really enjoy the cake. Thank you so much. God bless, and thanks for subscribing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let me continue eating my cake. Well, I'm on TMAT 2 meals a day, so this should be added. I think this should be counted as one of my meals for the 2 meals a day journey. Thank you.